And your advertising slogan, I think, was all about this, about the 100% pure New Zealand, the idea that you're a greener nation than any other in the developed world. That already isn't true as your population does slowly rise, and it's going to get worse.
It's polluted.
30 centimetres before your feet disappear.
Yet the Waikato River's where Auckland gets 10% of its drinking water.
Around here, a number of times a year, there'll be so much faecal bacteria that it won't be safe to swim in.
The water is filtered to make it drinkable, but the Greens say a better solution is to crack down on effluent from intensive farming.
As Dr. Mike Joy of Mercer University, a leading environmental scientist in your country, he said just the other day, he said, we are delusional about how clean and green we are.
Well, that might be Mike Joy's view, but I don't share that view.
I haven't touched anyone.
Anti-1080 demonstrators invading the restricted loading zone in an effort to try and stop a huge helicopter poisoning operation on the coast. After a 2-hour delay, the helicopter operation finally got underway. There are 6 helicopters operating today, covering 40,000 hectares and spreading 80 tonne of bait. The amount of toxin per hectare is just 3 grams.
A West Coast farmer says his livelihood is at risk after 1080 poison was dropped in a creek on his property. The farmer says he had an assurance that helicopters doing the drop would stay 500 metres away from his farm. Juliet Speedy reports.
Jim Ferguson is worried about his reputation as a beef producer. He says if foreign buyers find out that poison's been dropped in his waterways, they might refuse his product.
We're going to lose our markets, not only the beef market, but the dairy market's in jeopardy too, in my book.
Ferguson says he was assured by the Animal Health Board that it not drop 1080 within 500 metres of his property and creek. But the poisonous pellets helping eradicate TB have appeared right where his family and stock get their water.
A 1080 pellet used to poison possums has been found in a creek supplying water to the township of Ross on the west coast. The discovery was made after helicopters spent the past 2 days dropping 80 tonnes of bait over an area of 40,000 hectares.
Daniel Lane was arrested trying to stop yesterday's 1080 drop. Today he was searching for evidence of pellets in the waterways.
It's in the water. You think that would have dissolved by now, but it hasn't.
1080 bait drop planned by the Animal Health Board is along the west coast in July. Then east of Taupo, followed in spring by the Wairarapa along the Tararua Ranges.
But he is very well qualified, isn't he? And he's looked, for example, at the number of species threatened with extinction in New Zealand. He's looked at the fact that half your lakes, 90% of your lowland rivers are now classed as polluted.
Well, look, I'd hate to get into a flaming row with one of our academics, but he's offering his view. I think any person that goes down to New Zealand...
He's a scientist, it's based on research. It's not just an opinion.
He's one academic, and like lawyers, I could provide you another one that would give you a counter view.
In 2007, the Horowhenua District Council pumped over 5 million litres of partially treated waste, including tampons and condoms from the plant behind me, directly into the waterway for 48 hours.
There is one river you may not want to plunge into this summer. New research ranks the Manawatu River in the Lower North Island as one of the most polluted in the Western world.
Dirty dairying practices and poor sewage treatment are considered the culprits for the alarming ranking.
Now, if you're thinking of taking a dip in one of our lakes this summer, there's a chilling warning. A report out shows almost a third of those monitored by NIWA suffer from poor water quality. The outlook's looking murky, with the research saying the state of our lakes is getting worse. Aaron Soma has the details.
Lake Horowhenua in the Manawatu is home to many, but it's also home to this and this. Pollution that's strangling the waterways.
So people can't swim in them at different times of the year, they can't drink from them. This is bad news.
The NIWA report out shows a third of the country's monitored lakes have poor water quality. That is, a number of nasties like fertiliser runoff. It also finds the quality in some is getting worse, not getting better.
If anybody goes down to New Zealand and looks at our environmental credentials and looks at New Zealand, then for the most part, I think in comparison with the rest of the world, we are 100% pure. In other words, our air quality is very high.
100% is 100%, and clearly you're not 100%.